highly doubt we're going to get a actual sunrise today. It is a misty gray morning, beautiful in its own right. So I went ahead and started a couple minutes early because honestly I think it's going to pour down rain on me in a little bit. It's misting now and the clouds look pretty impending, so I thought, hey, let's go ahead and start. I'm already down here. So hopefully you can hear me because the winds are a little bit higher today than usual, but I wanted to talk to you. So these talks are always just basically things that happen to me during the week that make me think, that would be a cool thing to share. And this week, the same thing popped up twice. I was teaching a class on leadership, and in the curriculum there was a section about diverse networks, and the theory being that we should have a very diverse network, meaning that you should have people from all different walks of life in your network to give you opinions and thoughts and expand your knowledge. And then yesterday I was listening to a podcast, which I am an avid listener of podcasts. I think they're so interesting and a great way to spend your time as you're driving around. And they were talking about how important it is to search out people with different opinions than your own. And it's sometimes uncomfortable to do so because when you search them out, you're like, wait a minute, but I don't agree with you and I don't really want to hear from you. Because we typically, and it's a natural thing, we always search out people like ourselves because it makes us feel good. Like, I believe this, and oh, you do too. Hey, yeah, so of course we're right. That makes me feel good. So it really made me think that is the topic today, right? And it also made me think of a story about my parents. My feet are going to get wet here. The waves are coming in. But that's okay. A story about my parents. When I was first at the age, I guess, where I was starting to vote, and I was 19, 20, something like that. And I went to my parents, and I think it was the Attorney General. I can't remember now, but it was a long time ago. I wasn't sure who to vote for. I looked at the Attorney General who was running, and I was like, should I vote for him? I'm not really sure. I can't tell just based off of the things that I'm reading whether he's the right guy. So I went to my mom first. And I asked her, I said, hey, what do you think about this guy? She said, I think he's a really thoughtful guy. I think that he's got a lot of positive attributes. It's somebody I think you should really strongly consider, and I think he'd be a great candidate. And I said, okay, well, that's interesting. So then, I went to my father, and I asked him the same question. His answer was very different. He said, what? He's a crook. Don't vote for that guy. So two very diverse opinions. Now you would think that my parents couldn't possibly have been married to each other, right? But they lived with each other and they had a very loving, wonderful relationship until my mom's death. And they had very diverse political opinions. And I heard diverse political opinions in my house all the time at the dinner table and, just in our general daily life. And one of the things I learned from listening to them is that it was okay to have different opinions. That didn't mean that one was right or one was wrong, or that one had to convince the other one that the other one was right or wrong. They were just different. They came from different places and had different goals, and so their opinions were going to be different. But it did open my eyes that, hey, there's positive and negatives to every situation. It's not as clear cut and just black and white. There's always a gray area. And so I think that's the real value in diverse networks and diverse opinions, and why we really should search out different opinions than our own. You might learn something that you didn't think you would, even though it's a little bit uncomfortable at times. And this applies to business, it applies to raising your family, to pretty much anything, is to search out opinions other than your own. It doesn't mean you have to believe them. It doesn't mean that you're trying to change your opinion. You're just trying to understand the other side. And by understanding the other side, you might understand your side a little bit more. anyway, so that's the story of the day. Hopefully you could hear me today. It's definitely a windier day. The sun should be coming up now. I don't really see any peaks of sunshine yet. But I think it's coming. The sun will come up, just in a different way today. It's pretty in its own way. So, before I sign off, I'm just going to... there I am. I'm really close to the screen, so it's kind of hard to get all the way in there. But anyways, I just want to say hi. Glad to see you guys this morning. And I hope you guys have a great week and search out some diverse networks. And I'll see you next Tuesday. See you later.